chiming in, I should say, to the D.A.P. David Allen's podcast. Much love and respect. I got my girl here, Miss D. Say hi, Miss D.
Hello, everyone.
What's good with you? Y'all tune in, share the page, like the page, and we got 2 topics for you, and we'll be right back. Give me a few seconds. Much love and respect. Check. D.A.P. David Allen's podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Much love. We got 2 topics for you real quick. One topic is going to be dealing with the children going back to school. Parental, having support for your children and some of the things that they are doing far as school is concerned. Miss D, tell me about how do you feel about, backing your children in school when it comes to schoolwork, when it comes to homework, things of that nature. Tell me something about that.
I think it's very essential for us as parents to also get involved in our children's education.
Right.
A lot of parents think that because their children are going to school, the teachers are 100% obligated to go ahead and support them in accomplishing their education. Okay. But I do believe as parents that it is
you have to play a role.
It is also yes, we have to play a role in that. It's very important.
Right. So what happens when a kid come home and he tell you or she tell you, I got a bad grade? How do you feel when they have the bad grade and you go to school and tell the teacher, why is my child failing? Would you get on the teacher?
No, not at all. Because and I believe that that's one of the mistakes that our parents are doing. Also, we have to go ahead and take accountability of a lot of mistakes and things that we do when you have to come to that topic. I seen it happen, and to me, if my child come to me and show me a grade and saying sign it because she failed, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. What I'm gonna do is the next day when I see the teacher, I'm gonna go ahead and ask them, what can I do to better her grade?
There you go.
It is my obligation, and right. A lot of parents, they just sign a paper without even reading it,
right?
Or their children are failing,
right? And
sometimes they know it, and instead of telling their children, do what you have to do because that's what I'm feeding you.
Right.
I am working and I'm doing this, and all you have to do is better yourself, and if you need help, come to me. So that's why I think it's a teamwork.
Teamwork, all the way around,
yes.
all the way around. Agreed.
Yes.
I definitely agree with that. What do you say to the parents? Excuse me. What do you say to the parents that want to, blame the teacher? Like, they get upset and angry. My child failing. You ain't teaching them, because you got some parents that do that. What do you say to those parents?
They're wrong, Supreme, 100%. They're wrong because if your child is failing, the teacher is doing her job.
Right.
Now, why don't you sit in front of the mirror and ask yourself, am I doing my job?
Right.
It's a teamwork.
Facts.
And a lot of the time, when the child is failing, I don't see no parents going and talking to the teacher, not even to the principal, and telling them, I need to have a meeting with you. I want to know what my child is failing.
Right.
I want to know, how can I help?
How can you help?
What can we do to support him to better
right.
his education?
Makes sense.
That's what we should do as parents. We got to get ourselves involved, and we got to make sure that we do our job. And by us acting the right way, it's going to be also helpful for our children to know, what to do. And it's going to make them it's going to motivate them to do right in school, because they're going to be, well, my parents, my father is, or my mother is involved. They do care, so I should care, and they're going to they need the support. We need to be there for them.
Makes
Definitely.
sense. Makes sense. Really good point. If you would like to call in regarding that particular topic, you can do me a favor and dial in. The number will be 551. Oh, no, not that's a whole different number. My bad. It's going to be on the screen, as a matter of fact. 973-433-5666. It's on the screen right now. Please go ahead and give a call if you need to speak your point and your perspective on this particular topic. All right. If you are here and you can hear us speaking at this point, please put a 1 in the chat. Thank you. All right. Also, we would like to want to give some information on some T-shirts that Miss D Apparel produced, and this is one of the shirts behind me. Got a little sparkly thing going on with the D.A.P and all that. Glitter. She does stuff like that. I was like, hey, that's what's up. I like that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Miss D. That's nice. That's nice. I like that.
Yes.
Headphones, you know what I mean? Got a little sparkly thing. You know what I mean? That's dope. Definitely. Real nice. Yeah. So tell them some of the other things you do, Miss D.
Yes, we want them to continue supporting me until today. I'm very thankful to them. Support Miss D Apparel, and the number is 551-294-3437. And we make customize the t-shirts, and we also do some tote bag, and for any special events. And you just give us a call, and we would definitely take care of you.
That's what's up. That's right. Apparel. Miss D Apparel. Once again, that phone number is 551-294-3437. So make sure y'all check her out and get you one of them shirts or a few of them shirts for some of the events that you got coming up. Much love. All right. Moving right along. Okay. Now, I think we had a conversation. We had a conversation. You had a conversation also with, the first conversation started with Tony Tough. And y'all had a conversation regarding guns and children. What was your take on guns and children? What was Tony's take on guns and children? How do you feel about that? Before you answer that, anybody would like to come on, please dial the number and give your take on this particular topic. Is it okay for children to learn about guns? Is it okay for them to shoot and all that good stuff? What are the pros and cons? What's your take on it, Ms. D?
I could only say my take on it. I can't give Tony. He got to go ahead and come in. No doubt. I don't know why he missed out on us today.
Right, but y'all had a conversation on it, so you know what I mean? But, you know his take on it.
From my point of view, point of view as a mother,
right?
I would say that children shouldn't be shooting no gun. That's just my my perspective on it. Should they be taught about it and or what a gun is and how dangerous it is and the consequence that it could also bring if they use it, then right. I don't have no problem with that. Now, I have a problem with a parent taking a young child to a gun range. Yes, and teaching them about something that we know that is dangerous, and we know that you have to be certain age to acquire one. So
what age do you think they should learn how to shoot a gun?
It depends how where the
5?
child. No, definitely not 5.
6.
Definitely not 6.
How about 7?
I think they have to be mature enough to do so.
8?
No.
9?
No.
Come on, Ms. D. 10?
No.
So
not at all.
11 years old?
No.
What's wrong with 12?
They shouldn't have no gun in
13, D?
Not at all. I'm gonna
14 years old.
I'm gonna say something.
Okay, go ahead.
They have to be mature enough to be able to carry a gun. Even the law says you cannot have your child and put a gun in their hand and just teach them how to shoot a gun. Okay, I know they have toys gun. I know they see them in those games and stuff. They teaching them how to shoot gun. And I believe that that's the reason why we should let them know what it is and the consequence that comes out of it, because now they think that it's a toy and it's a game,
Right.
and it's something serious. Because
Right.
I've seen many cases where a child, use a gun and not even knowing the consequence that comes out of it.
Right. I saw.
And that's not good.
Yeah, I saw a parent teaching a son at 6 years old, and while I was watching it, I think it was very educational. I think that how he approached the situation was really a good way of approaching it. This is what he did. He said he already taught his oldest son the same exact way, around the same age. He put a watermelon on a tree stump, and his son had a toy gun. So he said, "Son, shoot the watermelon." The son shot the watermelon, and the dart hit the watermelon, popped off, bounced off. It bounced on the ground. He said, "Okay, let's go over and look at it." He said, "Did it put a mark on it?" The son said, "Nope." So he said, "All right, do it again. Try it, a little harder." Did it again. Boom. The little dart hit it, bounced off. So he said, "How about if I shoot it with my gun? You think it will? What do you think will happen?" Right? The little boy said, "It's gonna explode." Like that. He said, "I think you're right. Great. So let's see. Let me do it with my gun." So what he did was he shot the watermelon with his gun, and it splattered. So he just gave him an analogy on how dangerous the real gun is. Because even the little boy said, "What's the difference between my gun and your gun? Your gun is real."
Now
All
that's
right?
a good way of teaching him.
Right.
That was a good thing. Yeah.
He said, "So now, if you shot your gun at my head, what would happen?" He said something about it bounce off. "But what about with my gun?" "Oh no, that's dangerous. Your head gonna explode." Right.
Now
So
that's a good way of teaching.
Right,
That's
right.
what I'm trying to say. But
I respected that.
But he didn't put the gun in the child hand, go shoot the watermelon.
right. I don't think I don't think nobody would do that. If they did, I mean, you just don't just do it right. Just put the gun in the boy's hand.
Yes,
Let's go
yes.
shooting. No. I think that is a good thing to actually teach them the safety of the gun, the power
Yes.
of the gun,
Yes.
and all that good stuff.
Yes, and
Because
that's I don't have no problem with that.
Right,
Yes.
right. But I think that it's okay to teach the good children about guns.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think mothers get to the point where they feel emotional about it because they feel like something's going to happen to them if they learn about it.
I don't feel emotional at all. That's
Right.
not that's
Like
not my
fear.
that's
There's some
not
type of
my
fear.
that's not my intake on it.
Right.
It's not about a fear that my child got. I just believe that
Mm-hmm.
it's not the time for them, to get into an adult, and that's like adult environment to
Right.
me. It's like we're rushing and pushing our children where they don't belong down there. We're making them grow up before their time. We gotta let our children enjoy their
childhood.
Their childhood.
Yeah, but
not because and I do believe me. I'm a very reasonable person, and I do understand that sometimes that if you live in an environment where it's violent and it's shooting all the time, definitely, our parents will want to put anything in their children's hand to protect themselves. I understand that,
Right.
But you're a parent, you are there, you know what the consequence that comes out of it is. Your goal to go ahead and protect your child, especially when they're kids,
Right.
Supreme.
Right. I
After
get
certain
you.
age, I understand. If they like 18, 20 or whatever, and you already know they got good, their head is
Good
fine.
sense, right,
They
right.
they
You
know
gotta help
that they
them
could
into- right.
handle it, and that's fine, because still,
So
if you got a child and he's 18, 19, 20 or whatever, and he's not okay
Right.
mentally,
I
and
agree.
he's not capable
Right,
of
of
knowing
handling
and
that, right.
handling that situation. Why do it? To me,
Okay.
it's the well-being of your child in every point.
I agree. All right, now what if a person has a child? Now you got adults that collect guns.
Oh yes, I know a couple of them.
They have guns in the house. So what if his child or her child or their children is capable in handling the idea of learning about the gun, safety, and all that good stuff, and being able to shoot as well? What if that 6-year-old is capable?
He's a child.
Hold on, hold on.
child.
You just said it's okay if the child has the mental capacity,
And they're 18, 19. Don't
so
talk
you can't.
about little kids.
So you got to wait till he's 18 to
Wait
actually.
until they're mature, adult, not kids. They have to be an adult, but not.
I don't
children.
think so, Ms. D.
Not a child.
I don't think so.
Not a child.
Yeah, I think they should be able to learn younger than that.
I think they need to
You
know,
know why?
about the gun, but not put it in their hand.
I believe most children that shot themselves or shot someone else with their parents' gun didn't learn how to use the gun, didn't learn the mechanics of the gun. And this is why you have them killing themselves or another friend with the gun because they wasn't familiar with it and being curious about this powerful thing. Even if mom or dad said, don't touch this. Let me finish. Okay, don't touch this. All right, this is dangerous, okay? You understand, Lil John? Okay, Pookie? Ray, don't ever touch this, okay? This is powerful. Look what it does. Look at this video. Don't ever touch this, okay? It's in the lockbox. Okay. What if, for instance, one day it's not locked? For whatever reason, the child curious, because he don't know nothing about this gun, he want to check it out. So he grabs it, looks at it, boom, right in his face. But if he was a child that was taught at 6 how to break the gun down, what the safety looks like, knowing just looking at it from a distance if it's loaded, knowing from a distance if it's cocked back, ready to shoot. If he knew that, he wouldn't even touch it. Or he can, if he did touch it, he know how to, make sure things is right with it. You understand? So I think that the age really doesn't matter if he's being taught well and if he has the right mindset. If he's following instructions and the parents know that they are able to handle the idea and the learning of operating this type of gun.
I mean, I like the way you describe or put the story together. It doesn't take away to me that a child is a child and we shouldn't rush them from their childhood. That's number one. And the second thing that I'm going to say, if a child shoot himself with their parent's gun, it is not the child's fault because he don't know how to use it. He don't know how to operate it. It's the parent's fault because he's supposed to keep the gun safe.
Right.
And that's
it
one
is
of the
parents' fault also for not teaching them.
Let me finish. And
because he would not have shot himself.
Let me finish. And that's one of the things why you shouldn't, because if a parent, you don't know how to keep your gun safe, you shouldn't carry one because you got kids in the house.
Right.
Okay. And before you operate a gun or before you own one, they always tell you, keep out of reach of
children.
All right, thank you.
I agree.
That's my word.
I agree. But let me ask you a question. The same thing it says on the back of the alcohol or on certain products.
And who's the one to protect them?
But here's the thing.
The parents.
I know, but my point I'm making is if they were taught properly about it, because it's impossible to keep everything out of the reach of children.
As a parent, it is our duty
I agree.
to take danger out of our children's ways. They're not capable.
And sometimes taking danger out of things, Miss D, is teaching them properly.
You could teach them properly, but you cannot put the danger. Just like how you gonna
But
you teaching a child about alcohol.
Right.
So you're gonna open it and tell them, drink the whole bottle. Let's see what happened.
No, we tell
There
them.
you go.
No, you tell them this right here. This alcohol is not good. You can't drink this alcohol.
You can't.
Because if you drink this alcohol, let me show you a video on somebody that drunk some alcohol,
Same thing with a
rubbing
gun.
alcohol. This is what's going to happen. Look at this.
Same thing with a gun.
Not good.
This right here,
Right.
this is what it does. This
Right.
is called the
And
bullet.
then-
and-
right.
But
And
you
then-
don't put it in there. That's what I think.
No. Let me finish. So if I take the alcohol and showed him, this is what happens if you drink this. This is going to happen to you. It's not good, right? So now he knows that it's not good. This is what this alcohol is used for. You know, if you get a scratch or something like that, it's going to really burn, all right? But it's not for drinking. So now, let me show you how to use the alcohol. See, you got a boo-boo right there, right? I'm going to put it on you. That burns, but this is better, peroxide. You know what I mean? This helps. This also help clean it. Now, he did it. He did his little thing. You showed him how to do it. Same thing with the gun. Let me take you to the gun range after. Let me finish. Let me take you to the gun range after I showed you properly how to, gave you theory first on guns, not physical, only theory. And then actually showed you, after a little while, showed you how to hold it, how to properly put it on your hand, how to properly hold the gun. You know what I mean? Simulating, just showing you. No gun range yet. Say it takes about maybe, let's say, a month for him to go over theories alone. And then eventually showing you how to actually hold it and pull the trigger. Theory, no bullets in it.
This is just like
And then eventually take you to the gun range.
we would love to hear your comment about it. Your give us your opinion.
Yeah, what y'all think?
But I really think, like I said, that there's certain things in this world, especially like gun, that you need to be certain age to be able to carry it. You need to be in certain mental health and different kind of to be able to carry a gun.
Right.
And it's also, even to acquire one, you have to be certain age. And
Right.
there is a reason for it. And that's the reason why I think that we shouldn't push up on our children in getting to learn something that they're not ready for.
I think that's just an emotional statement, though, from a mother. I think that's a emotional feeling. You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
emotional.
Because say, for instance, he's out in the street. He knows nothing about guns, but a friend of his found a gun. Now he goes out and, let me see, they playing around with it. Pong. No one knows nothing about this gun. They have no idea. They have no clue why. They were never taught. But there's a damn gun by the tree, by the school lot, by the, by the school playground. There's a gun there.
You know
So
what?
they so curious. Nobody knows, but it could be that one little boy. Oh, no, don't touch that. Give me that. No, don't touch that. Put it down. Safety note on. Put that down.
And you know what?
Because he was taught well.
Because you tell them what it is and they know how dangerous it is. It does not, I'm not against of you instructing your child
Right.
about a gun. I'm saying that putting it in their hand, that's what I'm against of. Now, if a child saw that gun in the school backyard, you know what they're gonna do if you instruct them correctly? They're gonna go look for the teacher, for an adult, the teacher or the principal or another teacher or somebody. They're gonna tell them, we saw this down there.
Right.
That's you instructing your children.
Right.
Not because this world is weakened, is evil. We have a lot of danger out there. That's the reason we need to be there as parents to protect our children.
Right.
Now, if you instruct them correctly,
Right.
they will look for guidance. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
I'm not against you instructing them
Right.
about it. I'm
Right.
against
But
you
putting it
pushing
in their
on
hands.
in their hand because you see how dangerous the world is. Or now I'm gonna go ahead and tell them. That's just like telling your children. Your teacher smack you, go ahead and smack her back. A lot of
What's
parents-
wrong with that?
A lot of see, there you go. That's an adult. Let your child know you respect.
If she's an adult,
you respect your child. Let me finish, Supreme.
If she's an adult or he's an adult,
and
they smack your child.
Let me finish. I'm not done yet. Let me finish. Now, a teacher come and smack your child. I would tell my child. When he come to me back to the house, he would let me know. My daughter would tell me, listen, these students push me up. They've been doing it for a week. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk to the school and find out what's going on between her classmates.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna ask the teacher, have you noticed something? What's going on? Because my daughter is coming up to me and telling me that this such and such student, her classmate, is pushing on her, is bullying her. I'm gonna go ahead and solve the problem. That's my call as parents. I'm not gonna tell my daughter, jump them back, smack them, kick them. What's gonna come out of it? Animosity is gonna be fight. Somebody gonna get suspended because they don't really know what happened. But if we go and discuss it between adults, we're gonna find out what's going on and what's the solution. That's what the parents is for. We're there for guidance, not to push them to a road where we know it's danger down there. It is dangerous. So, but when you push it, you're pushing them.
So you don't tell them if someone hits you, you don't hit them back.
No, I don't tell my daughter if somebody smack you, smack the knicker back. No, I tell the go tell the teacher.
Right.
And if my daughter come up to me and she tell me, you know what, she smacked me, Mom, and you know what I'm gonna tell her? And you know what I do? I walk with her to school.
Right.
We'll talk to the teacher and I let them know. Right. I heard that my daughter came up to you and she told you that Tanisha smacked her in the face, and she told me that you didn't do nothing about it. Did you put it on record? You spoke to the principal? Because the next time I come, I'm gonna go to the principal and I'm gonna let them know it's been happening. And the thing about it is that she told the teacher, but she's still, bullying her.
Exactly.
And if the teacher or the principal don't do nothing about it, I'll go to the Board of Education.
Well,
that's what I do. That's my call as a parent.
I got you.
I'm involved.
I mean, I think there's situations that happen like that plenty of times where the child get bullied, get hit, tell the parent, parent go to the teacher, then the child still get bullied, tell the parent, parent goes to the teacher, and then they go to the top, and still, now they go to another class next year, another child bullies them, go to the parent, parent goes to the teacher. At what time do you teach them hit their ass back?
I never teach my child to hit anybody back, okay? So, after I solve the problem, I go to the school,
I speak to the teacher,
the
problem not solved, Miss D, because she's still getting bullied.
It doesn't end in the school, Supreme, and I want the parents to know that, because I'm speaking seriously, because I've seen some crazy thing happen in front of the school where a parents will come and confront another parent because somebody, he hit my head. Now the father want to come and beat the guy, or two parents fighting in front of a children. They are the adult. They got to handle the situation as an adult. It doesn't bring nothing.
But when do you teach the child to defend yourself? Because it's not about the parent at this point, the teacher, the principal, the school staff, the board, or it's not about none of that. Now it's the child being so bullied and so fearful till she won't even block, or he won't even block a punch. Now she's growing up with a self-esteem issue. So at that point, she got to go to karate school. She got to go box. She going to karate school. She going to be whipping. She going to hit them some flowers bringing.
So let me say this, right? And I'm talking again as a parent. We're seeing something. I see a lot going on out there right now, where we are teaching our children to be aggressive. And I just want to go ahead and tell those parents out there, okay, it's not the way to do it, Supreme.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you that.
Let's see what the chat say. Let's see what Super Chat say. Let's see what Nate say. Nate, what you say? I have no problem with a child learning how to properly use a firearm. It's about properly educating them. It has nothing to do with maturity, because there are adults with firearms are not mature enough. Facts. I agree with that. Okay. One of our biggest problems is that the pink people teach their children survival skills. Thinking like how I'm thinking, bro. All right. And our community let entertainers teach them how to go to the cemetery and jail. Facts.
So true.
So Sheila Gardner says, whoa, great answer. Okay, which answer are you speaking of? So Frederick says, great point, Supreme. My father taught me how to clean and take it apart in the 7th grade. Plus, I had no access to it.
Good.
Great.
Safety.
That's right. But you knew he put it in your hands, though, right? Exactly. So you can have some type of comfortability, no fear of it. You knew how to handle it. You knew how to pick it up. You knew how to not point it at your face or no one else. When you grabbed it as a kid, you knew how to put it down and point it towards a direction that's not towards anyone. You knew how to put the safety on. You knew how to clean it out. So you had no fear after you learned that. I get it. So now Nate says, we are our children's first teacher. It is incumbent upon us to educate them. My daughter grew up around guns, knives, bow and arrows, or whatever, and crossbows. My job as her father is to educate her and prepare her for survival. If the grid was to shut down tomorrow, a lot of our people would strive because can't hunt food in Walmart or ShopRite. I'm with you on that, bro. Because you're going to have to go out there and go in the woods and get a bear or a tiger, a lion, a deer, a squirrel, them little raccoons running around here. Great point. What you say, Sheila? Sheila said Nate Crawford. I guess she was just agreeing with Nate. Frederick says both are right. That we're both right. 1,000%. Okay. Nate also says because the world is dangerous, that's why they need to learn how to defend themselves. If an intruder run up in the house, Jesus and the Bible is not going to save you. You know what's crazy, Nate? I said that to her earlier before we even got on. If there was a situation where someone came up and ran up in your house and they got you tied up with a gun to your head, the only person inside that house is you and your child. That child actually sees what's going on, but they don't see the child. If that child has some type of experience with handling a gun, he can come up in there, he or she, come up in that room, let my mother go. If you don't, I'm going to shoot you. So now the gun is on the mother or the father. In the guy's mind, that little boy ain't going to shoot that damn gun. Soon as he start turning his gun towards that little boy, pow, done. Mother, father, saved. If not, they all could die. So I just even explained that whole situation to her on that. If he never knew nothing about that gun, he won't be able to even go grab it, go get it, and do anything because the fear sets in because he knows nothing about it, even how to hold it. So great point, my brother Nate. So back to the point what Nate was talking about, say for instance, if it was a civil war that broke out just on your in your community. Like he said, the pink people will tear up because they're prepared. They don't have this mentality that we have. keep this away from them. Don't show them nothing. They don't have that mentality. They prepare them early, 6 years old, 5, 7, 8, 9. They go to the gun range like our kids go to the park. Facts. I've been there, and one time I'm in the gun range shooting my little bong 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 bong. I look to the left of me. No, first I ain't look. I just heard this boom. I look to the left of me. I'm like, I'm looking at this little short pink dude getting it in with a big damn bazooka looking gun. Boom! I'm like, I had to stand back and look. I'm like, God, he confident as hell with this damn thing. He had this thing on his shoulder. He was going in. You hear me? And when I say he was hitting the target like it was nothing, they don't have no problem with that. Why is that? Go ahead. I'll let you.
Oh, you don't. All right. Enjoy yourself. Let me go back and repeat what I just said.
Go ahead, my sister.
I don't have no problem with you instructing your child about a gun, because there's got to be certain situation like you described.
Right.
My problem is you putting a gun in a child's hand when he's not certain age. That's what my problem is.
I understand. I get you. I get it. But I think that I don't think it's a problem if you taught him well. If you instructed him or her well, I don't think it's a problem. If you taught him not just how to, work a gun, the safety of it, and it's not to be just taken for granted and just use it when situations are not dangerous or deadly. Once they understand that, I don't think it will be a problem. I think the person that don't know anything about the gun as a child is more dangerous than the child that knows about the gun and the safety of the gun in their hand. Yeah, I think that. Frederick says, what'd you say, Frederick? Frederick says, right out the womb, you can teach them. Right out the womb, you can teach them. Right out the womb. Great point, my brother. Great point.
What is the age for you to acquire a gun?
Yeah,
and for you to go to the range?
The age to actually acquire a gun, and is mainly 18.
A point, okay.
It's your point.
What's your age?
What's your age? Look. What's the age
to buy one? So you got to be how old?
18.
Okay.
That's the law.
Okay, and to
what's
go
the
to
age?
the range?
What's the age to drive?
How old are you supposed to go to the range?
What's the age to drive? What's the age to drive?
What does drive got to do with gun?
I'm asking the question.
I'm asking you the question first. You didn't answer me.
What's the age to drive? Do people still drive before they get to 18?
Yes, I think they started teaching their children since they 13, 14, or
exactly.
Whatever.
Sometimes they be teaching them 12, 13. They be in a lot going in.
Yes,
and that's fine.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
They do.
Same thing.
But that's what a lot of things happen too.
Right.
They were showing about a boy who took his parents' car and drove it up because they taught him how to drive, but he ain't supposed to.
Well, they ain't teach him right.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Where'd he drive the car off the what?
He just took the car off and then he hit somebody.
Right, they ain't teach him right.
It's crazy, see?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because that is not his time.
Right.
It's just a lot of things that happen, and I believe as a parents, we should be the one to be able to guide our children. That's number one. We should be the one to also talk to them about gun or anything that happened in the world. And that's just our job and duty as parents to protect our children.
Facts,
and
I agree.
And I think, I don't know, that's just my opinion on that. It's just, to me, it's a dangerous zone for them.
No doubt. So what do you think, you watching right now, what is the age, what will be the proper age, as Miss D said, to actually put a gun in a child's hand, especially if you are a gun owner or a gun collector, because you're going to always have it around your house in different parts of the house or whatever the case may be. What is your take on the age that you teach your children about the gun? If you want to call in, you can always call in at 973-433-5666 to give you a spill. Once again, 873-433-5666. What's your take on that? Peace and blessings to those who chimed in. Appreciate you.
And let's remind them too not to forget Supreme Sunshine Shea Butter.
Don't forget that butter.
No more rusty hand or legs or nothing like that.
Okay? Or heels.
Don't let a man grab your hand with his rusty hand, sister.
That's a good little slogan.
And don't let a woman grab your hand, all right? Go ahead and let them rub you with Sunshine Shea Butter.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you.
Yes,
Much love.
You gotta
Y'all get
come
that.
up and show up. We're showing up right now for you. Show up for us, all right?
Real talk.
Miss
All
D
right.
Apparel too. Don't forget 551-294-3437.
Get you a t-shirt.
Yes.
Or a few t-shirts.
Yes.
Back to the chat. All right. So what you say, Nate? He said the best time to teach them is when they're old enough to hold it. You're like, yes. Did she stop, right? See that?
Stop right there. Because anybody can hold a gun.
So if they 2 years old, they can hold it. They can be taught. They can be taught.
They could be thought about it and the danger that could happen out
Exactly.
of it. Yes, that's what I'm not against you teaching them. I just said that already.
Okay.
You could teach them, you could instruct them.
But you said don't put it in their hand.
Don't allow them to have a gun in their hand.
If they can hold it.
No. Well, buy a toys. They got toys, one.
It don't have to be a toy. It don't have to be a toy. It can be straight steel. It can be steel. They need to know they need to know the weight of the steel.
I'm against it.
All right.
Don't try to persuade me, Supreme.
All right. So what you say, Daniel? What's good with you? Thank y'all for chiming in. Nate, Daniel, and all of you, Frederick. Who else was that? Nate, Frederick, Sheila. Thank you for chiming in. Appreciate you all. What you say, Daniel? It all depends on the mindset of the child. We did speak about the mindset,
spoke about
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not all children are mentally stable, especially a younger age.
Yes.
And just because you teach doesn't mean that they will utilize the way they were taught.
Yes, definitely.
Right, great point.
And I agree with him with that. That's my point. Because you could teach them, but that doesn't mean they're gonna follow direction. That's what I'm saying. You know,
I agree.
Because sometimes, going back to what he just said right now. Let's go back to the example that I told you earlier. Right. A grown man now locked up saying that I wish my father didn't put a gun in my hand. Why? Because that same gun that he learned how to use, he ended up in jail because he killed somebody. Right?
Okay, so what was the circumstance?
Now he locked up in jail. No, he said that all he learned it was just to
just shoot,
defend himself. Now
that's it.
He don't know no more to talk to somebody and what I'm saying. Like I told you, I teach my child communication is a power. You know what I'm saying? Not everything have to be. Let me pull a gun. I don't feel safe.
So he wasn't taught properly.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Right? There is time for everything in a child life.
Right.
Some things you cannot rush it because they will not understand. Like he said, you might go ahead and teach them, but they're not gonna hear it like the way you're saying it to them. It's the age for everything. Because now he don't know how to go and talk to someone and say, you know what? Because there's other different way of solving a problem. Okay, it's not all about pulling a gun. Oh, I'm walking down Kennedy. Oh, I'm walking down Bergen. Let me put my gun in my pocket. It doesn't work like that.
The thing is, if they taught properly, you're taught not to, put yourselves in situations where you have to use the gun on non-threatening situations.
But as a young man and as a young child, now they believe they I just say that they mentally they're not. We're gonna see just the out of it, but mentally they're not ready to carry with that. I'm just saying to you because now it's gonna be just immediate. When you tell a child all they see in their house is violence, you know what's gonna happen when they go outside? Everything's gonna be violent. Right. They don't know how to control themselves.
Right.
Now you put a gun, they know you could kill somebody.
Right.
It's defending yourself.
Right.
So they're gonna go ahead and just use it as a tool for that instead of having that control and learning other way to solve problem. And I
Right.
see a lot of that happening in our life, and it's a sad thing.
Right.
That's
And
what
when
it is.
but see, when you're teaching a child a situation with a gun, they're learning all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't get emotional over an argument.
You're saying it to them, Supreme, but they're not ready. Just like the
Right.
way you go for counseling for marriage. Until you get in that field,
Right.
you're not going to have no control. You're not going to know how to communicate. You're not going to know because all you know is
Right. Got you.
it's deeply, it's so deep that it has nothing to do just with a gun in your hand. It have nothing to do with it.
It's
It have-
mental.
there you
Everything
go,
is
Supreme.
mental. I totally
Everything
agree.
in
I
life
totally agree.
is so mental.
It's mental.
It have to do physically where your state of mind is.
So just like Daniel said, the maturity, the mindset of the children,
Yes.
mentally stable,
Yes,
especially.
he
You know what
just
I mean?
said it. It's
At
not
a young
about it
age.
because I'm not even, and I do understand what you're talking and where
Right.
you're standing right now because they put in games for our children. I see game. I swear, pa 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 pa. I see it in games.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see it. So it is important. That's why I say it's important for us to go ahead and teach them about it.
I agree.
But there's more than just that.
That mental
Yes,
teaching is
yes.
even more important.
Yes, they have
so that's
to
why
be-
I spoke about the theory
not
of
just
it.
age,
You know,
yes.
yeah, the theory of it. You gotta, you have to know your children.
Yes, there
you know
you go.
what I mean?
It's a different.
Yeah,
it's,
you
it's
have
a,
to know.
It's a different game. Because
Right.
I've seen a lot of mistake out there right now.
Yeah.
Or because maybe you're looking at it just for protection.
Right.
But how did they took it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, now I know. Yeah, come on. No, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
It is a lot more deeper than just that gun.
Got you.
And that's what I said, that there's certain things for where ages in our children's life where it's called up time to learn, time to teach them the education,
Right.
time to get married, time to make children, there's time for everything in life. We cannot rush them. You gotta let them go ahead and leave their childhood.
That's what's up. I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. I can't disagree with you on that. What you say? Who was that? Nate. What's good, brother? Thank you for chiming in again. Nate says, on the flip side, you can teach adults how to use a firearm, but they don't have the capacity to understand the consequences. My experience at the age of 41, watched my mother hold my dad in Lafayette Projects as he took his last breath. The man that killed him was in his 30s. If you don't have the mental capacity, it doesn't matter how old you are.
There you go. I agree too. Because
We
that's how
agree.
deep that just called gun is. It
Yeah.
have to do with you mentally,
Right.
Where you are, and it brings some harsh consequence in your life.
That's right.
That's what we need to tell our children. That's what we need to tell them. If you use it, it's gonna bring a lot of damage also in your life. Okay, a lot. And it's something that you're gonna regret for life. And that's what we need to teach them. That's what we need to prepare them about. I understand a parent trying to teach their children how to defend themselves, how to this and that, but it's more deeper than that.
I agree. Totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, there's a great percentage of gun violence in America. And I'm thinking I think in 2021, 2022, like 4,000 and some change.
Yeah.
In the year of 2021, murders or gun violence of the deaths, about 4,000 some change in that year alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Children.
Yes.
Not talking about adults, children.
Children.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you when I said about mental and the state of their mind and it saddened me, Supreme, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I went out to a public place,
Right.
and it was grown mature men,
Right.
where they come and they just had an argument. It was a gathering between friends. It was an argument, and boom, They tell them, you can't be arguing down here. You got to go outside. 3
Right.
minutes after, somebody end up in medical center.
All over emotions.
All over emotion, all over an argument, all over just thinking, I have it and I could get rid of him.
Right.
And I know how to shoot it. It's
Crazy.
just it's some crazy thing that I think is deeper than just having a gun in your hand. Now imagine if it's adult, imagine how dangerous that is. Imagine what you're doing to a child.
Right. I agree. Okay. I see your point. Yeah, let me get this total. The total was in 2021, the kids and teens, 4,752 total. 64.3% homicides, 29.9 suicide, and 3.5% unintentional injuries.
And with that percentage, Supreme, I wanna give my intake on that. It's so sad that for that same point, I know a lot of people might think, well, then you need to teach them how to use it, okay? But for that same point, it's telling me how dangerous that machine is. And it's telling me why, as parents, we need to teach our children the danger of that machine.
Right. Of course.
It's not about here how you use it. We need to put them on point on it. And they're not being killed because they don't know how to use it, Supreme. Are they being killed because they parents or any adult, whoever who owned that gun, is being irresponsible?
Let me tell you something.
So they need to check.
Let me tell you something.
They need to check who they give a license to and who is carrying a gun. And they need to train them more how to handle a gun, not a child.
The problem with that situation is teens don't get a lot of that. That percentage that we heard was 4,752 in total that was killed. They didn't really get all them guns from their mama's house, so you know that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know that.
You get a lot of that from the street.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
know
that's
that,
not coming from
Supreme.
the mother's house.
I know that.
Or the parents' house.
That's
or the
the
father's
reason we
house.
got to teach our children
Right.
about the danger it is,
Straight
I said.
out the street.
And I think that's the reason why we need to find out, like the law highest, who you giving a gun to, where they coming out with, because they're killing our children. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Because if you don't have the license to carry one, you shouldn't have one, Supreme.
Right.
Why we got to put that pressure on our children that are starting to grow up?
Yeah, man, but certain hoods is dangerous today.
I know what you mean. And I know why a lot of people give it their opinion, because I listen, I know that.
Right.
I know how it is.
So what you say, Daniel? Daniel said real issues out there is these blacks, so-called men, putting guns in these young people's hands.
Yes.
The black men is where most kids get weapons
Yes.
from.
Yes. Too
Facts. It's not at home.
Not at home.
A lot of times
Yes.
they
Not even
the parents
at home.
don't know nothing about.
Not even at home.
Nothing about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I just said. They
Real
need to
talk.
figure out, instead of trying to put pressure on our children, find out where they're coming from.
Right.
Because
right.
they putting our children in danger.
That's real talk. And what else he said? They mostly get weapons from weapons from the street. You know what I mean? And the
Yes.
destruction.
Yes.
Supreme, another form of genocide.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes, definitely.
Good point,
I
my
agree with
brother.
him. Yes.
Good point.
Yes, I agree with him.
So Nate said, I guess he learned that about the gun and everything at age 4. When he learned about everything about the gun. Age 4. And Daniel said, it's how I got mine when I was young, from the street.
There you go. There you go. Definitely.
I bear witness
And
to
hey,
that.
and I do
As a
do
young
understand,
black
and I definitely understand. I'm clear why from the street, right? There you go. It's not gonna be from your house. Your father is not going to give it to you. Your mother is not gonna give it to you. It's from outside. That's
Yeah.
how dangerous it is.
Yeah, but
They're your protector. They're not gonna give it to
right.
you.
But it's becoming now the norm is becoming now where the parents are buying guns. You're getting people that's licensed.
Yes.
To carry outside.
Most of the people
and
I know
home.
carry. Yeah, they have
You know what I
license
mean?
to carry a gun, and they are capable of carrying. They adult.
Right. So
Yes,
they have
adult. Yes.
children. So I think it's definitely need to be taught.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
To safety
They
and all
need
that
to be
stuff. Yeah.
instructed about it. That's what I said.
Right. I agree.
Yes.
All right. So what you say, Nate? The most part, it's a learned behavior.
Yes.
People emulate what they see,
Yes.
whether it's the parents, rappers, entertainers. I would prefer for mine to learn from me, than the streets, movies, and songs.
Definitely. Yeah. It's our call as parents to instruct them.
I agree. Yep. So anybody else want to give their profound statement? You want to call in, you can at 973-433-5666. If not, we will about to end this podcast right here, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ms. D, for chiming in on your viewpoints.
All the time.
I love talking to you regarding things, and definitely want to have you back on the other topic. Y'all look out. D.A.P. Much love and respect. Have a good one.
All right. Good night.
One love, peace, and blessings.
All the time.